Good morning, junior campers. I'm Andrea Brownlee, and I would have been directing Junior 4 this year, the first week of August. But instead, I'm sharing this video with you here from Holy Ground. I'm sitting by the bell in front of the main lodge, and I am here to share with you today's scripture and keynote. Our theme today, as you learned in your morning watch, is Holy Ground. So I'm going to share with you our scripture for the day that comes from the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verses 1 through 15. Let us hear our scripture for the day. Moses was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of the Midian. He had led his sheep beyond the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flame of fire out of a bush. He looked, and the bush was blazing, yet it was not consumed. Then Moses said, "I must turn aside and look at this great sight and see why the bush is not burned up." When the Lord saw that he had turned aside to see, God called out to him from the bush, "Moses, Moses." And he, Moses, said, "Here I am." Then God said, "Come no closer. Remove the sandals from your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground." God said further, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord said, "I have observed the misery of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry on account of their taskmaster. Indeed, I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them from the Egyptians, and to bring them out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing of milk and honey, to the country of the Canaanites and the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites." If you don't remember all those names, that's okay. That's not the point of our scripture today. "The cry of the Israelites has now come to me," God says. "I have also seen how the Egyptians oppress them. So come, and I will send you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" He said, "I will be with you, and this shall be a sign for you that it is I who sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall worship God on this mountain." But Moses said to God, "If I come to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your ancestors has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' what shall I say to them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." He said further, "Thus you shall say to the Israelites, 'I am has sent me to you.'" God also said to Moses, "Thus you shall say to the Israelites, 'The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my title for all generations.'" Wow, there's a lot going on in that scripture reading today, isn't there? The part for us to remember, the part we're going to think about more today, is verses 4 and 5. Let me remind you what those said. "When the Lord saw that he had gone over, God called to him from within the bush, 'Moses, Moses.' And Moses said, 'Here I am.' 'Do not come any closer,' God said. 'Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground.'" Now, during morning watch, you were invited to find a holy space, some holy ground at your home, whether it was inside or outside. I hope that you did. But I want to know, how did you pick your spot? What made your spot holy for you? Was it obvious? Like in our scripture reading today, a burning bush and God saying, "Take off your sandals, this is holy ground"? Or did you have to do a little more thinking about where your spot might be for the week? Maybe you still aren't sure that you picked the right spot, or you're not sure that the spot you picked is the spot you want to use all week. That's okay. You have all week to find your holy ground. You have all week to find the spot that you feel the presence of God. You have all week, and guess what? You might find more than one spot. The thing about holy ground is that it can be anywhere we need it to be. When we can't go to the place physically, we can go there in our minds. Think about holy ground where we come for camp. Can you picture it in your mind? Can you think about all the great places that you go when you're on the holy grounds of the Camp and Conference Center? Holy ground can be anywhere we find peace, comfort, reassurance, and are able to relax and just be. Now maybe you did a little bit of just being in morning watch today, but I invite you to do that now. Close your eyes for just a minute. Think about holy ground, whether it was the place that you sat or stood this morning for your morning watch time, or it's seeing in your mind places around camp that bring you peace and comfort and reassurance, where you can just be yourself. Can you picture it? Is it like the burning bush that Moses saw that brought him to a new and different place? Maybe it's not so bright and shining like a fiery bush. But is it a place where you can be yourself? Is it a place where you feel loved? A place where you know that God has been, and where God is now, and where God will be in the future? All of those pieces are what make our holy ground, our holy spaces in our life. There should be a link in the camp playlist to help you find maybe your holy ground if you still haven't found it yet. The website is in GoNoodle, gonoodle.com, and it's a really great video about finding peace. And when we find peace, we find holy ground. So if you click on the link after this keynote time is over, it will offer you some suggestions and some ways to help find peace so that you can find your holy ground. Do you and your family share the same holy ground spot? Did you find the same place this morning for morning watch, or did you find different places? Today, as you work through the other activities in your camp crate that go along with today's lesson on holy ground from Exodus, I invite you to share with your family what makes the spot that you chose holy and special to you. And if someone in your family, whoever in your family, might be doing this week of camp with you, let them share with you what makes the spot holy for them. I know we will have a great week at camp, even though we aren't all together here on the region's holy ground. But we can find a small piece of holy ground, just like Moses, wherever we are. I hope this week is a great week at camp for you, and I look forward to sharing more holy experiences with you in the week to come. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.